Hey there, Toonami faithful, and welcome back aboard Toonami Absolution, where we talk about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. Once again, we are your hosts. My name is Alyx.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John. YuYu Hakusho, episode 17, Byakko's Lair, Japan, February 93, America, June 2002. And then episode 18, Seiryu the Blue Dragon, Japan, February 1993, America, June 2002.
Before we talk about the episodes individually, I just want to talk about one thing. Hiei got like half an episode for his fight, and Kuwabara got like 2.5.
Yeah.
He is efficient. He doesn't need more than 20 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, Kuwabara, outside of what we're going to see after Hiei, Kuwabara's the only person who gets multiple episodes for his Tower of Death showdown.
To be fair, his opponent cheats by dying twice. Well, dying 3 times, actually. Which I think is unfair. Like, because, he knocks him off the thing, they come back, they have a fight in Byakko's little fire lair, and then he dies again, then Seiryu the Blue Dragon comes back again, dies again. So can't die 3 times. That's against the spirit of the thing.
To be fair, this is the second time Kuwabara has died, and this will continue to happen.
I think Kuwabara gets away with it, though. Kuwabara, is the plucky human. He can do it multiple times.
We're all about this pattern with Yusuke where he has to watch Kuwabara eat it at least a little bit per every single arc. Kuwabara is going to almost die, and it's going to continue. And man, what these boys love each other so much.
It's made even funnier by Kurama being the vague post king, because he keeps going up a little like, well, this could be bad. It's like, just tell him what's going on.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing, in the first part of the first episode, it's like, oh, there is a way to defeat Byakko. And don't panic, Yusuke, he could do this if he's right. Like, okay, so you're going to tell him what it is? No!
That would be against the rules.
I'm going to be vague. And annoyingly, it gets messed up in the English dub. Because the whole point is that they notice that Byakko is expanding sideways, not growing up, which is leading up to the fact he's basically going to belch. Which makes sense. He's got he's got bad digestion. He can't absorb it all. They cut that out in the English dub and just go, he isn't growing fully. It's like, it makes more sense in Japan in this one where they're like, oh yeah, he's only, if you absorb power, you grow scaled.
I do want to point out, Hiei stays glazing Kurama again in this episode, where it's like, if it were you out there, we wouldn't have to worry. Like, what, Hiei? Man, just ask him out. Holy shit.
I love their little fan club thing going on. It's so funny.
Yes, it's just so like, no, you're so great. No, you're so great. And meanwhile, Yusuke's like, my friend is going to die. Like, are we paying attention here?
Yeah, but have you seen we've got matching shirts? It's fine.
At the same time, how much do Hiei and Kurama know it's the two Kus. How well do Hiei and Kurama know Kuwabara at this point?
I mean, they met him like 20 minutes ago in Universe.
And they're both demons, so they're just like, if he dies, he dies. I also did enjoy Koenma's little moment where it's like, if we have to leave all of this to Hiei, like, I don't know what to do anymore.
Don't trust him. He's like Charizard. He won't obey your commands. Yeah, I love this again. The fight with Byakko is so much fun for just how it's all nonsense tricks. This whole episode is slightly off in the English dub. They cut a lot of stuff that really helps flavor it. Like, I do love that Kuwabara notes that, the problem Byakko's having is he's having to absorb his spirit energy, and my spirit energy is weird. Which I like we're bringing that back up, and the idea, I'm not a trained spirit guy. I'm just naturally this. So of course you're going to have problems dealing with me. And stuff like Kuwabara names his attack. In the Japanese, he calls it my pinch hit come from behind bases loaded home run sword technique when he tries to bat away the mouth beam. And that's another really cool Kuwabaraism, which I wish they'd have kept in the English dub, because it would translate perfectly acceptably.
I I do love Kuwabara in this fight because like Yusuke's been on the back foot in every fight. Kuwabara is so on the back foot here and just refusing to back down entirely. And he manages to do the same thing Yusuke does, which is like work his way around the problem. But it's also just Kuwabara is not the main character, so you have to be nervous for Kuwabara.
Yeah, they do put him in a lot of nice peril here, which it works really nicely.
Well, it also helps that like the I'm just in fighting game mode. It looks like, their stage is in like hell or whatever. There's like lava or some sort of molten unpleasant liquid around them as they're fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna be like, I just have to give a big shout out again because I love Justin Cook. Justin Cook, heartbroken screaming is something that Justin Cook just nails. There's something about the quality of his voice when Yusuke thinks Kuwabara is dead, and that scream where it's like, no, you're grieving your boy here. Like I just have to shout that out because this will repeat, but it never feels the same, and I think that's actually a really big testament to those voice actors.
I especially love how quickly he code switches back the second he realizes Kuwabara is alive. He just goes back, okay, he's alive, I can start being a prick to him again. Talking of weird...
You can't know I love you.
Yeah, talking of weird changes, it's not lava in Japan, it's sulfuric acid.
Oh.
That's worse.
Yeah, it's worse, but also, like, it's red. Sulfuric acid isn't coloured, but in every piece of fiction, sulfuric acid is green. It's so weird that that's a thing. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want lava.
In a weird way, it kind of makes more sense because you can't stand a human can't stand that close to lava without being burned or the oxygen being burnt up. Yeah. So saying it's sulfuric acid actually makes it more plausible in the demon castle filled with mazes.
Convection does not exist in fiction. It's just the eternal rule. There is no such thing as convection currents. Because everyone should be on fire in this room.
It's magic.
I don't have to explain shit.
Yeah, that's my ultimate kind of cop out. It's magic. They're just it's magic. Yeah, it's magic.
just what I think is it's such a thing. Like I see red bubbling liquid in a cave area. I'm presuming it's lava. So it's so weird that Japan like, oh no, it's not. It's acid. Like, this is the one time I'm like, I'm with the English dubbers here. I can totally see why you're looking at me. That's just lava. Like, that is just how we symbolize lava in fiction. It's fine.
Fine, we're just gonna get on with it.
Yeah. Obviously, Toonami edits Byakko stuff quite heavily because we keep mentioning hell, which we can't do. So it becomes my den of fire. Lots of swearing changes as well. One of the weirdest ones is because Kuwabara, when he's like sort of talking, goes, yeah, I got distracted because it's so freaking hot in here. Toonami changed it to, yeah, I got so distracted because it's so stinking hot in here. So apparently now we can't even... The censorship on Toonami is getting slowly more restrictive as time goes on. It's really throwing me.
Well, we've mentioned for a week or two now the times where freaking has become a no-no. Can't do that one apparently anymore.
Yeah, it's weird. Like slowly but surely, Toonami is just like cutting off more and more words. I'm waiting for them to start bleeping Kuwabara just because it sounds a bit weird.
Do you think maybe like there was increased viewership that was happening at the time, so they had to start being a little bit more on top of it?
Maybe. I also wonder if maybe there was another show that freaking too close to the sun, where it was very clearly meant to be fucking, and then they just why am I censoring myself? I'm not too dumb. I can say whatever I want. So that just led to an entire crackdown of if you can't be trusted with it, nobody can. I don't know. It's interesting that this episode isn't too bad because of it, because it's just those swearing changes, and Kuwabara sounding slightly goofy does kind of fit his character. It's the next episode where things get really bad. Yeah,
when you have Hiei and his little moment.
Can we go to Seiryu the Blue Dragon? Because I love that Hiei's first response when entering a fight is, gonna take my top off.
That shonen classic move. You know it's real when the shirt comes off.
Gotta pop the top.
Gotta pop that top, show off the gains.
Love how immediate it's like, yep.
Just off with the shirt, Oh, on with the sword. Like I also love that there's a pre-established relationship here with Hiei and Seiryu that is like never mentioned, but is very clearly hinted at.
I was going to bring that up because they kind of implied that like he was Hiei's master or something because of. I mean, maybe because when I see the Fu Manchu mustache, I think, yeah, that's definitely been someone's master at some point.
Well,
It's so weird because, like, again, Hiei was not supposed to survive his arc. So I think that there's some early stuff with Hiei where where like Togashi is trying to like kind of flavor him a little bit because this never comes back, like ever.
But I say just drop as many plot hooks as you can just in case we need them later, kind of deal.
Yeah, Hiei really gets solidified once we get to rescue Yukina. I think that that's when the decisions about his overall character are finally made. When it's like, oh no, he was popular. Keep him in the book.
Bring him in.
Bring in our Vegeta.
And this does have my favorite line so far, which is when they go to the bit tunnels. Like, we found a maze in Maze Castle. It's like, oh, Kurama, shut up, you little dickhead.
Shut up, Kurama.
We're dying here. Also leads to one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in versioning. So in the original broadcast in Japan and America, we have that little flashback. We see the guy walking through, the bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
He's silent. If you buy the Blu-ray, and specifically the Blu-ray English dub, he grunts. You hear him go. Only in that version. No other version has this. So I do not know what happened, but for some reason, someone saw that silhouette and thought, that needs lines. I'm choosing to believe it's someone who was like, I need 5 extra minutes to get my SAG card this year. This guy's going to grumble. Why? Because I need my SAG card.
Remember, all 6 people who were working at Funimation at the time. Like
oh yeah, the argument was between one guy who's talking to himself. He's going around the room.
Yeah.
Over in the corner, Sabat's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Sabat's on the phone recording more Dragon Ball.
Trust like any quiet moments on screen though.
It's just weird because this was the Blu-ray. So this was after like it was being aired. And this was a relatively modern edition then. Like this wasn't like a Funimation thing. It's just one of those weird little things. You go, oh,
someone needed that SAG-AFTRA insurance.
This is one of those things I spot and I think about for several days after because why?
Just to talk a little bit about the fight with Hiei and Seiryu, it's a cool fight. I do like that we're introducing the idea of, oh, that was so fast that like not all of us could see it. Because Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z had a little bit of that, and like the characters catching up was a sign of how powerful they were. And I like that we did a little bit of that here, and Kurama just being so light about it. Like, so how many times did you hit him? Like, I lost track after about 10 or like about a certain amount, or like I only saw the flash of light. Like, it's an interesting power scaling thing. I
was literally waiting for him to say something like, can you kiss as fast as you slash? Because it did feel like we were reaching that point.
It's a little flirtation. It's a little flirty.
I'm sorry, that's not a little flirty. That's the point where I'm sitting down and going, like, look, guys, just come on, get in. You're making the party awkward.
I mean, look, like let's just lay the cards on the table. The franchise only becomes like successful in Japan if the Fujos are in on it, and they all know. Everyone knows that the driving market for shonen is Fujos.
I mean, I will say, because the whole point is like Hiei gets 2 limbs frozen, and it's like, oh, he can't move now. And then then at the end he goes, actually no, I'm just dicking with you, and my arm's not frozen at all. Also, you're dead, by the way. But that felt like such a Fujos draw images of Hiei getting frozen. It really did for how they make a big deal of it, and then he's like, actually no, I'm fine. I will say I do love the we get the first person shot from Seiryu where the frame cuts to show that he's like his cuts are taking effect. That is a beautiful shot because it is so violent without being violent at all. Like, it makes that feel like this really, like, horrific thing that's just happened. But the censors can't do anything about it. There's no blood. There's no visible cut.
It's just the knowledge that he's still aware while parts of him are, like, distancing themselves from each other.
My eye is falling on my face. Yeah. Also, I love the having the Byakko thing is quite interesting. Yeah, because Byakko comes back and Seiryu just kills him, which is a nice way to set him up.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about that because it is kind of like yes, Byakko's kind of like died a couple times earlier during his fight with Kuwabara, and he just kind of like runs in to this like stone chamber, like, "Hey guys," like, and just like frozen, shattered, just like, oh, it is kind of like an oddly intrusive moment because at this point, as an audience, at least for me, we've moved on. Like you're yesterday's news, Tiger Man. We're onto the new hotness right now, or I guess new coldness with given this dude. But yeah, it's for me, it's an odd moment.
It is odd. It is sort of like classic heel booking that you have like the new heel take out the old heel to show they're stronger. I get why they did it because we needed to kind of verify what his ice powers were. So he has to freeze somebody to show off that I'm the ice guy. It does lead to another great Kurama moment where he tries to explain Hiei's motivations for wanting to fight. Where he's like, Hiei follows a very strange and complex code, which smacks of the writers don't understand it themselves yet. It's very we'll tell you later.
Once Yoshihiro Togashi has finished writing this part, then we'll tell you what it is.
Just know he has one. It kind of exists. Yeah. The funniest thing about that is that's one of the big parts of the episode that gets cut to ribbons in Toonami because obviously it's very, very violent. It's like the frozen head of Byakko calling out to Seiryu gets cut. Seiryu spitting on Byakko's head gets cut. The close-up of the tear on the eye gets cut. Yeah, that is weird. But the shot of him with his spine hanging out, perfectly acceptable.
It's a post-Mortal Kombat world.
Yeah.
Living in the post-Mortal Kombat world. Like I do like that there's a pre and post-Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
It's just add together. You can't say freaking, but a bit of spinal column, that's good for the kids. The kids need to know they have spines.
It's also just a Tiger Man,
Just like how Genbu taught us about the hypothalamus, Byakko teaches us about the spine.
So obviously they also do cut us the blood on Seiryu's face when he gets cut up, which is weird because that actually to me makes it more violent. Because it's kind of this implication that Hiei's cuts are so precise, like he can cut under your skin, like sort of like surgical needle you to death, which I think is slightly more terrifying than it being a normal cut. Because like, oh yeah, no, you're just dead. Like, I don't even have to wound you. You're dead.
Oh my wamo shinderu. Like
pressure point.
Yeah.
Like it. I also one of the other thing I like about the fight because it is shorter than the other fights because like it really isn't even the whole episode. It's like half the episode total. It shows again that gap with Hiei. Hiei is leagues above Yusuke and Kuwabara, and it does show that like no, Yusuke got extremely lucky to survive Hiei. And even Kurama in the corner is like, no, dude, you got lucky. You need to understand that.
I do like how we're varying the lengths a lot. It keeps things interesting. It avoids the problems that a lot of shonen have where you kind of already go in knowing, okay, this episode's going to be this one fight, then it will end, then we'll do the next one. It keeps you on your toes. It leads to interesting moments.
And we get the stuff with Suzaku and Suzaku's little girlfriend parrot whose name I'm forgetting again.
His weird glove puppet bird who sounds like she's about to like tell me how to count to 5. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like but yeah, we get that whole thing where he's like, okay, this is bullshit. All my employees are dead. This is not fun for me anymore. How do I end this in the most ruthless and efficient way? And then we get back to Keiko and Botan, who is trying to survive the zombie apocalypse.
And not doing very well at it now.
Yeah, I do like the occasional check-ins back in the zombie because that's what initiated this entire semi-faux tournament arc, I guess. It's a tournament in all but name, I suppose. Yeah, it's good. We haven't seen Keiko in a minute, so it's good seeing her in the zombie world, I suppose.
It's impressive to know that she moved on from those two ditching her at the cinema pretty okay.
Yeah, just head over to the Winchester and wait for this whole thing to blow over.
It's so interesting too because like what I like about it because what you mentioned that it does keep things varied and we get to go back and forth. What I like is that it keeps the momentum of the flow of time because in Maze Castle, like it's not like it's a night day cycle. We don't know how many hours have passed, but getting to see Raccoon City before the bomb drops. Like that's it's a very good way to keep in the audience's head, like, oh no, it's not just about fighting the monsters, it's about the fact that everyone is going to get turned into a zombie.
I do love what we sort of get Keiko at the end, where she's one of the main guys who gets zombified, is that evil teacher we've had as well. I like the fact we're bringing him back in. It also does open up a fun option there. Is Yusuke going to go back and get to fight this guy? Because this would be a cool chance for Yusuke to get the chance to physically kick the crap out of this dude, because he's got it coming. Yeah, it's a nice structure that works, gives a lot of things. Can you guess what scene was basically entirely cut from the Toonami airing of this episode?
The zombie stuff?
Yes!
Yeah, the zombie stuff.
There's a load of them. So, like, when he comes in and says, "You look pale, zombie," that's gone. Him saying he needs to get some sleep is gone. The scene where he clenches his hand and draws blood is gone.
Sure.
The scene when he put his hand through the window is gone. Him complaining about Yusuke is gone. And Keiko running out the school is gone. So basically, if you watch the Toonami airing of this, the guy plays his song, Keiko is stood outside, turns around, sees a lot of people, and just starts panicking at the sight of them. There's no rhyme or reason for what she's doing or why she's doing it. I kind of seems to imply that she can hear the music, maybe, is what they're going for, but at the end of the episode is a mess on the Toonami airing. I do not understand how you'd even understand what was going on. If you were watching the Toonami airing this episode, it makes zero sense.
I mean, I can see why parts of it got cut. Like, not that it's good for the story, but I can see why, because that sequence is actually genuinely scary. Like, there is a real day after tomorrow, 28 days later energy to it. That is actually it would not be out of place in a straight horror manga.
I get stuff like him punching through the window and cutting his own hand being cut. But I really think you could have done something with the scene holes when he comes in, just to show that he's got grey skin, and then have him be repeat his "you need to be away from Urameshi" thing. That would have set up him being a zombie. It would have set up what's going on, and then cut to her outside. Oh, there's more of them coming. Would have done the same job. You'd have removed all the blood. I think it's just lazy editing. They just cut the entire scene rather than... There are ways around this. They dug their own grave on this one. Because, yeah, basically you just get Keiko, him being normal, then Keiko running away. It just makes Keiko look weird, which I presume we're going to cover it next episode with Botan explaining it, but there were ways.
Just to go back to other weird little things with Suzaku playing the flute and being the whistle. It's a whistle specifically, not a flute, which is...
a long whistle.
A long whistle.
It's like the warp whistle. Let's just think of it as the warp whistle.
But he mentions playing it in A minor specifically, and it's not in A minor.
It's not in A minor. It's a very nice musical joke added by the dub, because obviously he's causing problems in A minor. But no, it's not in A minor. It's atonal. It is my kid brought a Casio at Christmas time, and I am dropping my hands on the keys.
Thanks, Jerry Jewell. I gotta just throw it out there. This Jerry Jewell has been a staple for anime voice acting for a very long time, as in the year of our Lord 2026. But back then he was barely into his 20s. This is, I think, one of his very early credits that wasn't Dragon Ball, and he was just background characters in Dragon Ball. So it's wild seeing how far Jerry Jewell has come. Now that he's, Victor Nikiforov in Yuri on Ice and Principal Nezu in My Hero Academia, and 8 million other characters. Another thing I like about going back to this is seeing where all these names came from.
Yeah, there's a lot of famous people who go on to do much better things, kind of starting in this show.
Can it ever be better than you?
Well, bigger and better is what I was going for there. I was left off the heart. There are people who would become the foundational blocks of shows here, doing bit parts and filling in background voices.
Yeah. Now that we're kind of moving towards the end of this, again, faux tournament arc, who would you say is unless you want to save this for next week, who would you say is your favorite of the antagonists?
Oh, who's your favorite Saint Beast? That's a good question. I have a soft spot for Byakko. I think I like his whole like wrestling
Yeah.
thing. I like his energy. I like his powers. I like Byakko's whole like showmanship thing, but I also think we spend more time with him. So
We do. He's my personal favorite as well. You're the tiger and all that. Even though he gets stunted on multiple times in the 2 episodes or so he shows up, 2.5 episodes where he shows up. So yeah, I'm a Byakko fan myself.
Yeah, I'm Byakko with Miss Rachel the bird in close second. Byakko is the one who feels like a saint beast. I think is what really tips him over. Seiryu is he's all right, but he is still just a kung fu guy. Like I kind of wish they'd done more with his dragon theming. I think it would have been neat. But yeah, because Byakko is a beast who is saintly. I like that.
before we get into final thoughts, I do have to just throw something out here really quick, a little bit of Alyx lore. I around the same time as I was watching this, I discovered Fushigi Yugi.
Mm.
And Fushigi Yugi confused the hell out of me because I thought at the time that all of this stuff was like, ooh, cool, demon stuff. And it was like, oh no, this actually comes from somewhere. And that was when I learned that things were interconnected and my mind was blown. Fushigi Yugi, not appropriate for the age I was watching it, by the way.
That was the experience of watching anime in the 90s. 2000s. There wasn't really a way of filtering these things. You just got.
Yeah, you just found out. You just found out.
La Blue Girl. Yeah, it's totally like Sailor Moon Man at the market. Totally like Sailor Moon. Yep.
Yeah. Tenchi and Tokyo, I think, or just Tenchi in general, I think, for me. Really?
Before we round off, I want to just mention my favorite line in this entire episode is at the end, Kurama goes, Hiei is going through a tricky change. But I love it because the next part of the line, he's like, oh, he's beginning to like you. But Kurama says it in the way an elementary school teacher would start a discussion about puberty. Like, hair is growing in places and Hiei feels very different. But this is okay and normal. It's just it's said in this most patronizing tone.
I mean, to be fair, Kurama is like over 400 years old. Like, he's the oldest character in the main cast. So, like, I mean, you're going to be a little patronizing.
It is like the most I'm not sure like who he's infantilizing by saying that though. Is he infantilizing Hiei or is he like Yusuke? It's how the line is delivered. It's like the campest delivery in the episode, and it's so funny to me. Especially because then everyone else is just so confused because obviously like, oh, he can't like us, but it's like, are you sure he means he likes you? Are you sure he's not sort of saying that Hiei's voice is going to get deeper suddenly?
See, as you get older, you're going to have new feelings in your body. But no,
these feelings make you want to cut up a kung fu master.
I mean, that's what puberty was like for me. I don't know about you guys.
I did get faster during puberty, yeah.
I mean, didn't we all? But regardless, do we have any final thoughts?
It's, always digging the tournament arcs, even though it's not technically a tournament arc. But it's just seeing each of the four in action. And we're about to get Yusuke next. Because of course Yusuke's got to be the one that goes last. It's been fun seeing them because this is like, and I said this a few weeks ago. This is the moment where Yu Yu Hakusho for me kind of coalesces when we see this kind of quartet work together and kind of endure stuff together. So this is the foundation for all that.
It's amazing to me how this is doing what is quite a classic shonen storyline, yet somehow sidestepping all of the problems shonen tend to fall into. Like we've got a nice fast pacing without ever being too fast. We're not being repetitive. Even though we've brought Byakko back 3 times, that's interesting because Byakko is the only one who's so far done that. Outside of Hiei, but they've changed a lot between their comebacks. And, each of those fights are different. Each of them have their own thing. They're still finding cool things to do with spirit energy. Like the pole vault trick. Yeah, they're finding new ways to keep every fight interesting. And that doesn't get enough credit because it would be so easy to have done that first rock monster fight 3 times, gone, that's your weekly, that's the next 2 months of episodes, guys, let's all go home. They have found a way of adding a twist to all of them. Even the bird, which I was teasing about, is immediately such an interesting addition because you're like, okay, he's going to also come and do what Seiryu has done. Nope, we've added this little twist. He's playing mind games and he's got like a little assistant who knows what that's. It's doing really good at, giving me a fight, made me go, I enjoyed that fight, and then going, here's a cool other guy coming up, and you go, okay, I want to see that fight as well. Like, yeah, it's keeping things fresh, which is not easy to do.
I mean, I extol the virtues of Yoshihiro Togashi's writing and design, like pretty much every time we talk about Yu Yu Hakusho. But I always find it to be such a shame that his name is not in the same mouth that's talking about people like Akira Toriyama who are talking about Musashi Kishimoto, like who aren't like I don't. For me, it's like Yu Yu Hakusho really does so much interesting stuff with the shonen concept that it's not trying to redefine it, it's perfecting it. It's in my mind, in a way, it's kind of like, France invented ballet but Russia perfected it kind of idea. Like that's kind of what you're seeing here, and I love it, and the characters are remaining fun and fresh, and maybe one day Hiei and Kurama will ask each other out. Like Jesus, like the tension is palpable. But that does mean we have come to the end of our episode. That is right. It is time for us to disembark from Toonami Absolution. We want to thank you once again for joining us and talking about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. We have been your hosts. My name is Alyx.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John.
We'll see you next time. Bang.